The following presentation was recorded at the NDS Public Conference in May 2022.
NDS.Live evaluation portal and hands-on demo. So let me try to share the screen that we have here in. When you go to like I advertised earlier on, if you go to developer.nds.live, I will be prompted at the moment, directly prompted with a login to saying, okay, please sign in and so on. So what you do there, so if you like to remember developer.nds.live, then as a new user, simply click on the register button, which gives you also direct access to signup.nds.live. So which one works better for you? You'll end up just the same. What I will show you now, quick hands-on, how you step through the process. So I'll sign up myself with a private email.
Fabian, may I add one thing here? If you are a member, you should not register as a non-member in any case, because that will lead to some trouble if you decide later on to get a real member account. So please don't use this registration opportunity when you are a member. So I
use a simple to remember password. I do read and accept the evaluation license. So here it is. So no, I don't save that. So here it is. I will get it later on. So if I want to go and quickly skip that, I will be presented it again multiple times, and I can download it as PDF. You'll get it in your email. So don't lose it, because later on, you probably need that. You can read and accept the NDS privacy policy, of course, because we have your name, we have your email. So there's something you need to accept. I need to accept that I'm not a robot, and then I click register. So then I'm getting information. Okay, this is successful. I have to check my emails. So I will do so here on my mobile device, hoping that the email is here already. Let's see. Hey, it's not. That's just, here we go. So just for proof, there will be an email that tells you, I don't know if you can see that, tells you, welcome, thank you for signing up. Please follow this link to activate your account. So I'm following the link, and actually it had the PDF in the email, so for the licenses. And then it tells me on my device here, your account has been activated, whatnot, and I can go. So I'll be switching back to the screen share. I'll be adding my username, which is my email address. And a password, simple to remember password. And then I'm signing in. So here we go. So this is now what the members see. So at the moment, there is no real difference to what you will see if you are non-member. As a non-member, you don't see the download PDF stuff. So you cannot really simply go there, grab everything as a PDF and upload it somewhere else. So if you want to do that, you have to do this manually. And so we didn't want to give you this chance. In addition, as a non-member, you will get, instead of downloading the PDF version of what you see on the left, you will get a PDF where you have the terms and the license agreement that you agreed to. So you can always review it, you can always bail out and say, oh yeah, I'm making money with it, so let's become NDS member. Anyway, so what do we find here? What do we have? We're having a getting started section. It tells us, okay, there's architecture and specification. So I'll go to the overview first. In the overview, I can see, I can read through, okay, what is this whole thing about? Overview of data structures, how NDS.Live uses these layers that we all been talking about. So the basic types of geometry layers, attribute layers, and so on. So on the right-hand side, you find some table of contents for the whole site. I can check out, okay, how is this? I heard a lot about modules. The guys told me already that let's read up some stuff on this. So what modules do we currently have? What are the rules for these modules? Why is this also heavily modularized? And read on to this. I can quickly check out, because I heard so much about service interfaces, and you can go read what is the overall architecture. Talked about transport layer, reference layer things, and all of that. How is that all working together? How do server nodes and so on? So there's a lot of text and some pictures for this. And then you can check, for instance, this open API reference layer. You can check out the details here, how this all works. So what we talked about when you need to specify these details later on. So you will see what kind of things are supported, what is extended. So if you're familiar with OpenAPI 3.0, you see the extension, the extensions of that specification that we use for NDS. And this is also then described in examples. An example code. You can go on further, check out how coordinates are encoded, how the NDS world looks like actually. And in data structures, there should also be having the, for instance, how NDS tiling works. So how the world is tiled up and how you identify those and so on, because these are the very basics that you will need to find your way into the schema, because when we're now moving on, okay, and we will really want to see the encoding schema of all the modules, we will see, okay, here's an overview, here's the latest version. We can go through, we can, for instance, now look like, okay, we've been talking about lanes all the time today, so we jump to the latest lane, NDS.Live lane module. And from there on, we can go through and check out, okay, they have something like lane groups, lanes, some stuff we can read through. So we click up to the lane group, see how is this working. And then there's introductory text. And this is like the hard specification, right? There's not many examples any longer there. There are a couple of them, but this is really the specification. It has rules that will be tested in the end. So all of these rules that we have there, they are now in a machine readable way, always in there. And so there are usually then also test cases generated out of those. What you see here, we see a combined documentation plus schema. So there is no, so if you're familiar with NDS Classic, there was like 2 documents you had to read up, right? You had the format specification, and then you had the data schema specification. We don't have that any longer. So we have a combined view on this. So this is actually all in one file, so that we don't have any synchronization issues that we faced during the years. And so you can really see, okay, this is how the structures are, and then there's this is really how they're, like if you would read the Zero script, and then there is a description about it, there are images, how lane groups work, how connectivity works, how the lane groups, for instance, are, how you deal with lane groups on tile borders, because we heard that already today. Then again, section on rules, they all have identifiers that will later on be found in the certification and test documentation. So you can then, they can be connected. Yeah, and so, and this applies to then all of the schema documentation. So basically the schema is the NDS specification. So when you're looking into, okay, what is like the nominal NDS specification, here it is, it's all, you can find them all under schema, right? The overview gives you an overview, but it doesn't have any rules or anything, right? So the hard facts you can find under schema. We have a tools section that you can check out. It provides a number of tools. So the famous Live Lab is here. You can go there, download it for the 3 platforms that we support. You will find step-by-step installation and usage instructions and a user guide here. And we also have more like the package manager is described here, how you can reach it, how you can use it. You can also use it as a command line interface to integrate it into your processes. Then there is a smart layer service reference implementation description. So it's basically what we describe is how to get the Docker image. So there's an already pre-built Docker image that you can simply shoot up, and the only thing you need to do is connect it to a data source where actually your smart layer tiles come from. And there's also a section on how to customize that to connect to different ones. So you should be kind of up and running. So like what is still missing, what we want to add during the next weeks is like an overall introduction that actually does that. Download this, then generate your own first data set, read it out and display it, something like this. But that's what I'm trying to walk you through. So you have a server then set up. You can, in addition, add also the registry service if you like to. This is what Joe talked about early on, the here guys saying, okay, we also have a registry service, basically having all our services in a table of contents, more or less, with all the Python APIs that we're using in NDS.Live, because we said it's basically Python libraries on steroids a little. We describe them here. So we have own packages, and you find the code documentation there, what is then in the application framework and how that is all done. We additionally have tutorials setting up all your environment, how to use like a service registry, working with a smart layer service, how to read that stuff, how to write an NDS map viewer extension, something, for instance, Otto was showing, because they basically wrote an extension also for this, how they're using the path service to that. And here's also a short section on how to implementing a server for NDS.Live service using Xero and OpenAPI. So a little bit more hands-on, and also using the reference implementation there. Last but not least, we do have sample maps. I already said that. We have 24/7 running services. They are described here. So the most important ones are like the URLs, how to connect. So basically, when I now would click on one, so what you get as a first one is like you're getting the OpenAPI specification JSON there, so that you can see, okay, this is, you need to provide an API key, for instance. Here's the URL. And so on and so forth, which of the responses are implemented, and so on and so forth. A couple of the details. You can click on any of those to find a little bit more, one or two screenshots. You have to then it tells you, okay, which script to run in NDS.Live to have the same visualization going. And yeah, so you see at the moment we have like 5 islands. They're currently only HD lanes, so it's not road based, and it kind of like introduces, okay, we have like a simple highway with entries and exits. We have an intersection. We have lane markings changing along, so that you can see how this is modeled, how this is done. We have a highway, so the same highway we're going through over a tile border. And we have an intersection that lies exactly on a tile border, or actually on two tile borders in exactly the middle. So you see how this is all modeled. So a couple of corner cases that you can see there, and you can check out this kind of infrastructure if you're interested in how they are actually deployed. Yeah, there's more to come, and I hope you'll be using it more and more over the time. And yeah, that's it from my side. Having hoping that also more people from outside NDS will look into it, contribute, and eventually see you soon in any of the detailed meetings. All right, good. So then that was it from my side.
Thank you for watching. Visit our website for news on NDS at nds-association.org.